And there's the countdown. It's Dignitas, Naniwa, and 6jacks DDE. DDE sitting at 1-1 in this group after dominating Axlav in the week prior. And Naniwa, 1-1 as well. He unfortunately was not able to earn his loss, so to speak. It was kind of a scheduling thing. And then he did put on a dominating performance in his week number 2 against Kawhi Rice.
We're going to see him pitted up in another Terran versus Protoss, or Protoss versus Terran.
Ooh.
And, you know, I've talked to my good friend Phoenix from Fnatic Embassy.
Juan Carlo?
Yeah, Juan Carlo Morena something. He has like 10 different names.
Obviously.
But he says Naniwa is the best Protoss versus Terran in the entire foreign scene.
I've heard that. I've heard that. People, I heard to specify to Europe, but of course the argument there is that if you're the best PvT in Europe, you might very well be the best in the whole foreigner scene, as a lot of people regard the European scene to be much more staunch in their skill than the North American scene, and certainly if you look at tournament results, so far there's not a whole lot to contend against that. I mean, there's star players from the North American scene. Hydra, Huck, Kiwikaki come to mind. I guess I'm digressing quite a bit here, but I agree with you. I think Naniwa, especially if you looked at how he played against Kawhi Rice the week before.
Yeah,
and you know, Kawhi Rice, understandably, has a weak TVP, respectively to his skill, but he got his butt kicked. He got spanked a little bit.
Yeah, it was quite unfortunate, but Naniwa, I mean, I didn't think Kawhi Rice played exceptionally bad or exceptionally, and I didn't think Naniwa was exceptionally amazing. He was just solid, you know?
That's the thing.
It's just like, I didn't find any weaknesses. If I went to go analyze his replay, I couldn't tell you anything crazy. And look at this, actually. Very bold move, Naniwa. No gateway out. And a Nexus on its way. Getting a 16 Nexus.
And it's going to work great. I mean, they're cross positions. Yeah. If there was ever a chance for this to be super risky, even on a massive map like this, it would have been if they were close positions. But they're as far away as they possibly can. And actually, DDE opting for the quite late scout. Right, so if there was going to be a chance of him to react to this pretty quick, it's gone. In fact, he's doing the same thing. Just the Terran version. A little bit slower. He has to be, right? There's no gas.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
Yeah, he has to be. Which is going to put Naniwa slightly ahead, of course. He will get that extra Nexus out making probes, so it'll be really, really nice for him. But we're going to see. I mean, if he doesn't get in there, if his probe doesn't get in there, which I don't think it will, because the one Marine is there, he won't be allocating his Chrono Boost correctly. I don't think he can safely say, oh, I'm going to put all my Chrono Boost to my SCVs, and I think that's the one thing that's going to kind of balance things out, as DDE will know what's going on.
Oh, and he saw? Okay, well...
No, he saw a bunker.
That tips it, though.
Yeah.
I really don't like that bunker. And, you know, obviously that's... we have the privileged perspective of like, okay, we see everything. That's a stupid call. I don't like that. Now, of course, 6jacks just wants to be safe. He has no idea if a 4-gate's coming or whatnot. Ooh, look at this.
Ooh.
It's like a TVZ. Does the Zealot go and check it?
Yeah.
He
says hello.
Man. He was good. Of course, the Zealot's taking the scenic route. Like, I guess I'll go kill that.
Yeah, there's no way. Pulls off probes, which is okay. But we can see Chrono Boost to the Nexus. That's an important idea. Chrono Boost now being allocated towards the gateway. Kind of unnecessary. I guess Naniwa is just playing super safe in case there is some sort of all-in. But of course we're not going to see an all-in. And DDE just kind of posturing, which is great. I mean, that's what you want to do. You see a 16 Nexus coming up, you say, okay, I got to slow down their economy just a little bit so I can get my my expansion up in time, get that orbital command center up to start scaling. You can see in the income tab 28 probes to 21 SCVs. So starting off with a small advantage in harvester count, but of course that will be negated by the mules.
Yeah, and Naniwa pushing out to the middle of the map. Really important on this map. The Xel'Naga Towers located in the middle of this map do give a lot of vision to just kind of all of the pathing between the bases. And Naniwa wants to know, am I safe? Can I macro up right now, or do I need to be chrono boosting out units? And he's getting himself that information. Now, he's pretty certain The DD is fast expanding. Of course, again, we have that privileged perspective of saying, yes, he indeed is. But Naniwa earning that information, and again, the Stalker pushing forward. Got to be careful, though. There is no concussive shell, so he actually could escape. Never mind. Had to check that for a second.
I like this. DDE's doing the 3-wax factory. This is, I think, a much safer build. Yeah. But he has no clue what his opponent is doing, and if he only knew... I mean, this is kind of the 3-wax problem. It's not so much a problem. Oh, and SEV gets in here. This is such valuable information. Yeah. He sees there's a 1-gate robo. Oh, my God. I'm getting so excited because I know this is a big thing for DDE. That should be his timing. Hey, I need to go out and hit. A lot of times, when you don't get this valuable information, 3-Racks offers really no form of pressure if they go 3 gateways. And you have no consistent way of knowing that happening.
Retorb.
But he got that in there. He got that in. That's so huge, man.
He's coming. And you know what? This looks like a small force.
It's deadly.
Naniwa
it's so deadly.
actually forgot to turn his gateways into warp gates. He's not using the robo. He will have another warp in here. Oh my gosh, he's supply blocked.
Oh
God. No, this pylon these pylons just now finished. There's that warp in, but it's really, really late. A little bit of a miscue here early on from Naniwa. I don't think DD can push here, so he will back away, but there are reinforcements coming across here.
Yeah.
And this Colossus just now started. Another gateway forgotten by Naniwa. So his production's actually locking up in and of itself just kind of right now. And look at this. He's only got... Okay, well, there's a couple more pylons. I was worried he's going to get supply blocked again, but actually DD is fading back home. Yeah. That was troublesome, though. I mean, Naniwa tripped up there, and Lady Luck kissed him on the brow and said, "Don't worry, Naniwa, it's fine." So Naniwa's fine.
Now, I think if it wasn't cross positions, it would be another story, but I think cross positions definitely helped Naniwa out in that situation.
Yeah.
Also, no concussive shell really hurts.
Yeah, I never understood that.
No concussive shell really hurts. I thought he could have actually dealt with that because there was a very low sentry count, but the fact that there isn't concussive shell is quite troublesome.
Or combat shield, not even started. I think all the 3 primary bio upgrades, if you're going bio, obviously the order matters, but getting all 3 of them super fast matters, is what really cares. I mean, even if you're not going to feature Marauders that much, time in and time again, I see that Marauder hit something, and okay, it should be slowed down and killed, but then there's that time where it does, and you go, oh, that was stupid. It's a cheap upgrade.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd like to see a multi-prong attack here. I actually like what DD's doing, shutting down the vision of Naniwa, getting him off those towers. Naniwa, of course, parlaying that quite well. Not parlaying, excuse me. What's the
Parlay.
word?
This
parrying.
Parry, yeah.
Parrying that quite well by bouncing that probe around, grabbing different towers. It does end up going down there. Big scan, sees the 1 Colossus. The other half of Naniwa's army is hidden inside his main, actually. Quite a nice move there. Very underrated, but a lot of people should see that. And actually, it could incur a reaction from DD here, and if he does, it would be bad.
Ooh, yeah.
He is outgunned, man. He is now outgunned.
Yeah, he has to be very careful. Thermal Lance is up, and he's going in for it. And it does look like a couple of badly placed sentries,
actually.
Oh,
he got a Colossus.
Oh, wow. But all of this, I think, is going to be cleaned up.
Yeah.
There's no way DDE can continue this attack.
He's got to get the heck out of here.
And I have to say, I don't like that engagement, to be honest.
I don't. I mean,
I don't like it at all.
Getting the Colossus salvages it, I feel, to a certain extent. I still think it was a bad engagement, I agree with you. But he shouldn't have gotten that Colossus. Naniwa should have backed them up immediately and just won with the ground army. He was superior in all facets.
Looks like DDE has a bad rally, and he's trying to make a stance right here. I think there's a good engagement, actually. He is targeting down the Colossus, but no, he's going to have to back up. I thought targeting down the Colossus like that is kind of silly. Just kind of skewer your units, make sure that you're microing correctly, make sure the Colossus isn't doing too much damage. And I think he could have taken out a lot of those Stalkers, but unfortunately he targeted that Colossus.
Yeah, a bit of a exchange of aggression between the 2 players. Naniwa now, again, asserting himself in the middle of this map, gaining those towers, letting himself know, am I safe to expand or do I need to get more units out? Now, of course, we're kind of entering that phase where it's okay to do both, but as I say, that 3 gateways do go down at that 3rd base being taken as 2nd natural, and that's fantastic timing. You need to continue to increase your infrastructure as the game progresses.
Yep.
I mean, while we do have a drop kind of making its way to this back door, and this is actually the way to punish this. So, on the one hand, it's super great and strong that Naniwa is so much so on the map, but these drops make him vulnerable. And in fact, I'd like to see a double drop. We're not going to see that. Well, the Viking kind of functions as that, I guess.
Yep, he's
and he gets a warp
out.
in. That's actually quite a big deal, because who cares about the Viking? I would like this to be timed a little bit better.
That's a nice warp in though, because it forces that warp in.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I think a lot of times people hope that EU extends. You can see now this one dropship is going to get in here. He's focusing on the Zealot. I like that play. And he will be able to clean up all these Zealots. Again, it's going to be cost efficient, but he needs to get the heck out of here. DDE, losing every single one of these units.
The Marauder, let me in.
No.
He doesn't get on there. He's like, no.
It's like the dropship even like goes sideways. Like
so many action movies
out
in the
of
90s
window.
ended with that kind of scene. Like the pilot and the crew of that medevac are looking back longingly, and the Marauder's like the husband of the. I'm getting way too into this. Okay, so the Terrans player massing some Vikings. He himself is establishing his third. I was creating like a whole movie in the midst of this completely unimportant scene. More Colossus being chrono boosted out. If you look at the infrastructure, it's a lot of gateways. I think it's still just the one robo. Let me make sure I'm not being an idiot. And I'm not. And I like that, actually.
Yes,
I think double
too.
robo is a bit of a thing of the past. If you chrono boost actively, you can still get out the 5, 6, 7 Colossus. The only place it hurts you is in the rebuilding phase.
Yeah. I mean, I think part of the problem why we don't see 2 Robo Colossus anymore is because it's just a huge gas dump. And if Terrans understand what you're doing, they just hard counter you with, let's say, 3 starports or something like that. And it's very problematic for
a bit of a double
us.
drop here. Marine's getting raked in by that single Colossus. That's the problem with having a pure Marine drop. And look at this, actually.
Oh, man, what are you doing, drop?
It's like the worst 100-yard dash you've ever seen in your life because they all just died in flames. And then his whole army has to get repelled in the middle of the map, too, because, you know, half the medevacs are gone. Oh, big blink! And that's big. He wants to get a couple of these Vikings. If he thins out this Viking count, his 5, 6 Colossus become kings, and DDE might be making a stand here.
No.
I'm not sure I like this choice. Bad angle.
Yeah, bad concave. Nice blink comes up.
Here's a nice
and it looks like they got engagement, but I think there are way too many units for Naniwa. Naniwa has some nice force shields, makes the arc really inefficient. And he segments half his army. These 4 Colossus are reigning supreme, that's for sure.
Yeah, he just trounced that arm. There's the GG even. And you know what? That was so fast. Why'd he do that? He lost his whole army essentially for free. Naniwa doing a fantastic job with the force fields, dividing up that army. DDE making a couple questionable choices. The drops had the right idea, but then the way they were executed wasn't optimal. He kind of engaged a few times. He was rewarded with 1 Colossus early, but then every time after that, I feel like he got the short end of the stick.
Yeah, I mean, even that 1 Colossus was not cost efficient. You're sacrificing. Think about it. You have to I sacrifice 4 Marauders for 1 Colossus. That's not a cost efficient trade for me. I mean, there's more to it. Of course, there's that opportunity cost. There's the moment in time, but still, just looking at the raw numbers, I think it's kind of problematic for DDE. And at the end, I don't know if you saw, but it was 94 supply to 178. A little bit of a disparity. A little bit.
I would like to have twice the supply of my opponent if I could. Thank you very much. So Naniwa will take that first game fairly easily in dominant fashion. Again, is his PVT just that unbeatable, or are people kind of caving into the name of Dignitas Naniwa? We'll have to wait and see. Game number 2 is about to start in just a moment. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It will be the countdown to Dignitas Naniwa in 6x DDE. Game number 2. Map is Crossfire. Retorp. Why the long face?
I have a question. Did you ever play an instrument?
No, I'm terrible with
Your
musical
tempo is a little bit off from regular seconds.
Horrible. With musical instruments. You know what I played growing up?
What?
The stereo.
Oh. Well played, sir.
Yeah.
Well played. No pun intended.
Made amazing music. Fortunately, it was not ever my own. You know what, though? You know what I'm good at?
What?
Watching StarCraft, sometimes talking about it. You could even call it commentating.
Wow. I like to watch you doing that.
I do like to watch StarCraft.
I just set you up for one, and I realized I set you up for one.
Dude, it's becoming like the native language in here. Is that everything you say is just a sexual innuendo one way or the other.
I don't mean it, though. I swear.
It's good,
so
though.
bad.
It entertains the folk, and it keeps it PG rated for the kids that don't know yet. They haven't had the birds and the bees talk.
I guess so.
You know, in the top right-hand corner, we do have the 6-Jacks DDE trailing 0-1 against the lovely pink Protoss of Dignitas Naniwa, hailing from Sweden. DDE is a, correct me if I'm not mistaken, a Canadian-Korean? A Korean-Canadian?
Canadian-Korean craft.
And I believe he goes to school there. previously known as BW-Tidy from Brood War, actually. And I always assumed he was Swedish because his team was like 95% Swedish. Like, it was a grossly weird Swedish team that you were only on if you were Swedish, and they had this random, turns out, Canadian guy who's not even Canadian, he's Korean and Canadian. So there's a whole bunch of background that you probably didn't need.
No, I mean, he was strong in StarCraft 1. He was on a very respectable team. BW had a lot of different accomplishments. They were a very strong team.
I never knew. I just always assumed it was Brood War, which is now doesn't make sense.
Honest, I don't even know. Maybe. What else could it stand for?
Battle women?
Beastly workers. Maybe.
Bad warts.
Oh, dude. That's disgusting. Well, it could be. Could be.
Could be.
Could be.
Anyways, in the game, we do have an annoying probe inside the base of the Red Terran. Getting out that Marine. The Marine will ask the probe to leave the premises. And like any eviction, he will do it with his assault rifle. Meanwhile, Naniwa just teching up as normal. Now, one of the things to talk about with this map, and we've mentioned this many a time before, very, very common to see Marine tank combos here, again, because of that positional play. The timing is quite strong. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, we saw, like, almost that kind of style, but it was Marauder Marine tank from DD, if I remember correctly, against Axlav here.
Yes,
it was
he
slower.
went for contain.
It was like less of a timing, but still the same style.
What are you doing, Naniwa? I'm watching your probe.
Void Ray?
Maybe. That's what I'm feeling. But we don't see a second gas, so yeah, I'm so stupid. It could be that pylon over here. Where is it? Yeah, right here.
We have to put our faces like right up against the screen. You know what? It might actually just be like, no, it went there quite early, and that's I don't know.
Kind of puzzling, sir.
Maybe you know what he might be waiting for is
2 more gates and a 3rd gate to pop down.
I was gonna say he was gonna proxy 4 gate. Here's the 4th gate. Yeah. So this is well.
Oh, look at this.
This is actually what I just got done doing.
Yep.
He's in for a less of a surprise, though. I mean, this is what DDE is doing. Well, here's the thing. I tried to prevent the information, and of course I didn't do it to the same degree that I wanted to, but Naniwa didn't do it at all. Like, he built these gateways right under the nose of that Terran SCV, and he didn't take the second gas. So that's why we see 3 depots at the top of the ramp and a bunker.
Yes. And on top of that, we do see 2 barracks with 2 gas. So kind of puzzling. I'm not sure what DDE is really thinking right now. I don't know if it was a little bit of indecision or he saw what was going on, but he's going to Rex Factory. And just continue on like that. I'm kind of puzzled with it, but I'm not sure for certain. I don't know for certain.
There's the warping up there.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, he might be going through the back rocks.
Yeah, he's backdooring, man.
Check the vision.
He loves the back door.
He does. He can see it.
Does he, though?
Gosh, this would suck if... I mean, he's not reacting whatsoever, but if you check his vision, those rocks are being lit up.
Yeah.
You can see it.
That's
a lot of stalkers. Naniwa could be going for the lightning round, and I think it might work.
Yeah.
There are 5 Marauders out here, and he sees it. Oh, it's so late, though.
Uh-oh.
He's seeing it.
He's not happy.
He's got to bring his SCVs, and here they come. Naniwa trying to skirt by. The bunker's being engaged, going for the repair. Zealots are working on those SCVs, and it's tough to call at this point.
Well,
Zealots are getting melted down. I think it's the production.
No, and he's going to warp in an additional round of Zealots, and this is going to help so much. Say goodbye to your SCVs as these Zealots come up here, and there's no other way for them to do anything. Oh, nice hold position.
Nice.
But I don't think it's enough. The Stalker's doing way too much damage. Finally, they start targeting the SCVs, and the Zealots are just too hardy, man. They're too strong. It looks like DDE will lose this match, ultimately, after losing every single one of these SCVs. Another warping comes in. And it looks like, oh my gosh, DDE, DDE, GG's, and Naniwa will take game number 2.
4 gates on Crossfire.
That is low. That is so low.
Come on!
You have no self-respect, Naniwa.
We're trying to watch these games.
Do you know how hard it is to commentate 4 gate? Oh, look! This player 4 gate and won.
Real original Naniwa. No, I'm just
You are so bad.
Obviously, for those of you that have not been updated on everything that's happening in the North American Star League, I won my match against QXC doing the exact same thing. And it was just as anticlimactic. In fact, it was probably less anticlimactic because I just ran up the ramp and killed him.
Because you didn't backdoor, you went through the front.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Congrats to Naniwa, though. He does take the series down 2-0 in relatively easy fashion. And the weird thing about this is that it makes DDE look like some kind of road bump or something like that, but he's actually a really good player.
Yeah.
Look no further than last week when he took on a fantastic Protoss and Evil Genius's Axlab and had his way with him. He played brilliantly. He every decision he made seemed to be touched by an angel, if you will.
Touched by an angel.
would like to say.
Love touched by an angel.
And he just looked amazing. But here we are with Naniwa. Naniwa had somewhere to go, man. He's got a lunch appointment, dinner, whatever it is. He's like, all right, I've got 15 minutes. Let's just go ahead. Let's do this best of 3, and I got to get out of here. And of course, again, he did not actually say that, but wow.
That's how he played it, man.
Naniwa, 2-1 in the group, taking out 6jack's DDE in quick succession. DDE will fall to 1-2. Not out of it just yet. It is still fairly early, but part of my pregame show analysis was I don't think anyone advances from this group or any group in particular at 6-3. You really have to start making the comeback now. The pressure is on. Taking 1 or 2 losses is acceptable, I feel, if you still want to advance, but it puts you in that point where every single game from this point forward really, really counts. So, 6jack's DD, feeling the pressure, but today is Naniwa's day, and congrats.
Congrats indeed, 2-0, and we will be going to a short break before going to match number 2.